The Douglas County Sheriff's Office is trying to go green. 3 of DCSO's vehicles were outfitted yesterday with a special device called a smart emissions reducer. The small device has been known to reduce emissions while adding 3 to 4 miles to the gallon on fuel efficiency. Each emission reducer costs less than $600, but officials say it could end up saving the county thousands every year.
I'd have to run the numbers on cost fleet-wide if we did it fleet-wide, but it'll be in the tens of thousands of dollars.
Smart emission reducer void my vehicle warranty?
No, the smart emissions reducer will not void your vehicle warranty. The product was issued a CARB executive order number, which basically explains that the device will not have any harmful effects to your vehicle.
So what benefits can we expect from the smart emissions reducer?
The smart emission reducer will reduce harmful vehicle emissions significantly while providing a side benefit of fuel economy. Every vehicle and vehicle usage is different, so benefit range will vary.
If the smart emissions reducer is so great, how come I never heard of it? And how come the car companies are not yet using the product?
Well, most innovations that begin on a grassroots level usually never make it into the mainstream until years after market introduction. The smart emissions reducer is not yet used by the vehicle manufacturers. However, it is being considered as OEM component for the near future. We already have a commitment from an off-road sport vehicle manufacturer who will offer this as standard equipment on their vehicle lines.
The smart emissions reducer, it just sounds too good to be true to me. You know, you get this once a month, you know, all these different, everybody has a different idea, it just doesn't sound right.
The smart emissions reducer is an affordable and a realistic approach in lowering harmful vehicle emissions, which we have many documents that demonstrate both third-party and real-time test results that validate its functionality and its benefits. Unlike products of the past, the smart emissions reducer addresses emissions at the source of the problem, on the production side of the engine, not at the tailpipe.
So where can I get it? Can I install it myself?
Well, you can go to www.smartafs.com or www.smartemissionsreducer.com to order your smart emissions reducer today. Only qualified technicians that have participated in the smart emissions reducer tech training program may install the device on vehicles. Check out www.smartafs.com for more information about the smart.
Hi, my name is Phil. This here's Mark. We're picked a relatively easy install here today. It's a 4.6 liter engine on this Ford, so that's going to be the smart emissions reducer. It's going to be the red unit. What we're going to do is we're going to hook up the 5-gas analyzer, Mark, if you'll do that. And once the engine gets up to operating temperature, we'll take a reading, and then that'll be our baseline for the install. Okay, now that our engine is up to operating temperature, we're going to be able to push print here and create the data necessary for our baseline. And we're ready to do our install. We're going to take the crankcase ventilation system that already exists in your car, and we're going to cut into that and add the smart device. So now that we've got the crankcase ventilation system cut open, we've installed a right angle adapter on the unit for this application, and we're going to install the unit as close to the valve cover as possible. And then, of course, it goes on to the throttle body. Now, we've picked a relatively easy install here today for the purpose of filming, but most of the time you're going to want to allow about an hour to do an install. Okay, now that we've done a basic install, we're going to check for leaks. You can use brake clean and listen for the variation in the motor. If there's a leak, it'll be detected. So now that we've finished up our basic install here, we're going to button up everything under the hood, go out and take the car for a drive, make sure everything's fine before we release it to the customer. And if you want more information, you can visit us at www.smartafs.com or www.smartemissionsreducer.com. Remember, go green with the same machine.